The Guttmacher Institute, a non-profit research and policy organization, released a report on January the 17th claiming that abortions in the US have dropped to a historic low, with a reported 14.6 out of 1,000 women having had an abortion in 2014. If the reported statistics are correct, this would mean that abortion rates have actually fallen lower than in 1973, the year abortion was legalized. Obamacare is the likely contributor to the recent decline in the number of nationwide abortions, according to the Los Angeles Times. Obamacare, or the 2010 Affordable Care Act, provides free contraception, as well as successfully having made contraception more widespread, which is believed by many to have aided in the decline of unintended pregnancies. The steadiest declines were experienced in the West and South America, which are typically areas where there are fewer abortion providers and alternatives. However, correlations between the decline in the number of abortion clinics and the decline of abortion rates have been contradicted by several statistical anomalies, an example of which is the fact that, in the Northeast, the number of clinics increased by 14% and the abortion rate declined by 11% between 2012 and 2014. One specific type of restriction that appears to have had the greatest impact on abortion rates in recent years are targeted regulation of abortion provider laws, otherwise known as TRAP laws, which are specifically designed to make it expensive or outright impossible for providers to come into compliance, often resulting in clinics being forced to close. This means that a decline in access to clinics caused by TRAP laws will most likely have contributed to lower abortion rates. Statistics show that out of the 9 states that implemented new TRAP regulations from 2012 to 2014, 8 had higher than average declines in the number of clinics offering abortion care. And of the 9 states, 6 had larger than average abortion declines, with the exception of Michigan that saw a slight increase. The study also came to the conclusion that there has been a decrease in unintended pregnancies, as the number of abortions declined by an estimate of 132,000, whereas the number of births only increased by roughly 35,000. Some anti-abortion groups have also attributed the decline to their own efforts. However, AUL, Americans United for Life, released this statement on Twitter in response to the LA Times article. There is no national abortion reporting law, making it impossible to know the true number of abortions. The anti-abortion group Stop Planned Parenthood released a response to the Guttmacher report stating that, although there could be erroneous data, the numbers are generally accepted by all involved in the fight over the killing of children in the womb. They also stated that there is no reason to celebrate, as an innocent human being is being put to death every 34 seconds in the United States. On the other hand, the president of the National Right to Life Committee, Carol Tobias, stated that the historic low was a critical milestone, that it was wonderful news, and that there was real hope and change for unborn babies. The study also suggests that these numbers may be likely to increase during the Trump administration, as both Donald Trump and Mike Pence have vowed to repeal the 2010 Affordable Care Act. The president seems to have changed his stance on a woman's right to choose, as he made this statement in a 1999 NBC interview.
I'm very pro-choice. I hate the concept of abortion. I hate it. I hate everything it stands for. I cringe when I listen to people debating the subject. But I just believe in choice.
However, this interview in the 2016 presidential campaign shows Trump's current and more extreme view of abortion.
Judgments, but you running for president of the United States will be chief executive of the United States. Do you believe believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
During the 2016 vice presidential debates, Pence stated that both he and Trump would never support legislation that would punish a woman for having an abortion, despite what Trump said in the previous interview.
Donald Trump and I would never support legislation that punished women who made the heartbreaking choice to end a pregnancy.
And why did Donald Trump...
Trump and Pence have also both voiced their intent to overturn Roe v. Wade once in office. Roe v. Wade was a 1973 court case that ended in the decision by the state Supreme Court that abortion would be a fundamental right. By repealing Roe v. Wade, the Trump administration intends to allow each individual state to decide whether or not abortions should be legalized. Although prohibiting abortions is not likely to target or punish the woman who has had an abortion, but rather the clinic or individual that performed the abortion would be criminally charged. The effect that overturning Roe v. Wade would have on abortion rates is unknown, and many even doubt whether any states would actually go ahead with once again criminalizing abortions. However, this would mean that states that are already trying to strengthen anti-abortion laws, for instance Mississippi, would have a significantly easier time restricting it. Not only are new restrictions under Trump's presidency going to attack abortion rights and access to abortion clinics, but a full repeal of the ACA, Affordable Care Act, which, without timely and adequate replacement, would mean the loss of private and public insurance coverage for the millions of women who gained it under the law. Meaning that free contraception would be unlikely to make a comeback, and overall, abortion rights and contraceptive access will be targets of sweeping and sustained attacks that could roll back decades worth of progress.